across a report which basically talked about the level of language literacy and numeracy within the workplace, and they singled out retail as not having particularly high workplace literacy skills. And I guess if you extrapolate that out, if you require people to do things in different roles, you by default require some language literacy and numeracy skills to be able to perform in our industry particularly, or the consumer electronics industry, what can be some quite complex calculations. We're not a transactional business, i.e. you don't just bring a product to the checkout. We're all about engaging with the customer, about connecting with them, building trust. We're about recommending the right product, which is about product knowledge in terms of the features and benefits based on what the customer has told them. And it's about executing the sale in terms of calculating margin, calculating discount, whether the customer might be going on to a leasing arrangement or a credit arrangement. They all involve reasonably high levels of literacy needs, etc.
If we go down to the fourth question, your manager agrees to an 11% discount on a $999 dishwasher.
The funding provides training for 100 learners 40 hours per week. The reality of our business in terms of language literacy and numeracy needs is that there may be occasions where we require specific interventions with people to get a specific skill up to speed. And that may be a 6, 10, 20-hour training program, as opposed to meeting the requirements of the program, i.e. the TEC program. The program has provided us some frustration. I guess the funding provided by TEC has enabled us the opportunity to use the resource to provide training in those areas, I guess, outside of the program.
My brief initially when I came in here was that we had a gap in numeracy skills, so there was a problem with people doing standard workplace calculations. There was a language issue. We didn't have the broad range of language necessary for the staff because we've got quite a multicultural staff here. And we had an issue with compliance around workplace documents and the law associated with selling.
The key to embedding it or making it useful and used in the organisation is making it practical, linking it through to outcomes that people will actually be required to perform in their jobs. If it becomes work here and a training program over here, you're simply not going to get the buy-in. If there is the business and a skill need to come along to fulfil those needs, and a workplace literacy program such as this fulfills that need, you'll get the buy-in of the business to do it.
So initially we had a very clear view of where we were going with this program. We were going to go into the stores, we were going to run little training programs with all our sales teams. What we found is we had to get a real buy-in from our store managers. We had to get them to trust us, and they needed to know that whatever I did in store related directly back to what the staff were doing on the shop floor. So everything had to be about the store managers. What did they need me to do? What did they need me to create? And then how could I embed literacy and numeracy into that? Once we gained the trust of the store managers, we started getting people onto our programs. People started to talk about our program. We started to get visibility, and more people started asking me, what can I do? What can you do to make my team work more effectively or better? It started out as a store-based program, but very quickly we realised that the greater need for our business was in our delivery drivers, our contact centre and our after-sales service, and really promoting that area because that was the area that we need to focus on with our business. So a lot of my training is now with those guys and making sure that everybody in this business gets the same level quality of training they deserve. The training materials that I've developed, for example, for our delivery guys, I've done the program here in Auckland, but what we see is that we can now hand it over to our regional trainers and they can run the program outside of Auckland without having to have me steer over the shoulder because they've got the wonderful skills to actually embed literacy already.
I think there's an opportunity to use it more strategically in our business, and that's about identifying or at least determining the needs of all employees as they enter the business. I think the other key thing is to actually analyse the roles within our business as well, and actually say what are the skill levels required of these roles, and then basically matching up the employee with the role to ensure that they've got the skills required. So essentially you've got a language literacy, numeracy skills matrix and then it's about ensuring that we actually plug the gaps where required.